Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and this is right after the latest update, Update 5. And I've already done a video to show kind of what the new updates are in the sim, but today I wanted to kind of go over the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital, see how to download it, where you get the content from, look at the key bindings for the actual controls for the walkthrough, and then just actually take a tour through the hospital itself. Alright, so if you haven't already done so, the first thing is let's see where you actually get the content to download for the Orbis. So on the bottom right hand side of the main menu here, you're going to see where it has the news. You'll see there's three little options that you can click, and I believe it's this middle one. You'll see here it says Orbis Flying Eye Hospital. So if you click here, it'll take you to this page which has some information on the actual aircraft itself and what they do. And then there's an option here to visit the page. So if you click this page, it's going to take you over to the download section. And here we're at the download page, and you'll see that it's in the hangar in the background picture. And I've already downloaded mine, but right here underneath where it says owned, you would have the option to download into your content manager. So if you haven't already done so, this is the first step. You want to download this, and again, here's that same information that we saw before, and then at the bottom it has some pictures of what it looks like. There it is in the hangar. These are some of the screenshots of the inside and places that you can visit. I wanted you guys to take a quick look at this section here where it says using the mouse and keyboard, because I had some issues with this. So for some odd reason, they've binded the keys for moving around the camera to the right click and hold, raising and lowering the camera is your up arrow and down arrow, moving the camera left and right is your left and right arrow keys, and moving the camera or moving yourself within the aircraft forward and backwards, they bound it to Alt up or Alt down arrow keys. So I had an issue with this because I had initially changed my bindings on the keyboard, but I'm going to show you guys how to go back if you need to. Okay, so when it's done downloading, if you want to verify that it's downloaded correctly, you can go into your content manager, and then from here you can just type in Orbis in your search, and like you see here, it'll show up and you'll see that it's installed with the latest version and it's up to date. So that just confirms that it's installed and it's in your inventory of aircraft. So now if you want to get into the aircraft and look around, what you want to do is you want to go into your hangar. Okay, and then at the bottom here you want to change your aircraft. And then as you scroll through your list of aircraft, you should find the MD-10. Here it is. You're going to click on it, and then when you go back, just give it a second. There it is. So you'll see now that you can actually view it from the external view. You can't really move around it like you can with the other aircrafts. It just kind of has like this playing through where you can see parts of the aircraft from the outside. Still looks good. And if you want to go on the inside now, what you want to do is you want to go to switch camera, and that brings you to the interior of the aircraft. Now, before we walk around, I just want to show you what I did to my keys, just so that if you guys are having any issues walking around or moving around the aircraft, this might help you. So if you go back and you go over to your option setting, and let's look at the controls. So what you want to look at is you want to look at your keyboard. So if you click on the keyboard, now if you're having problems and you can't use the default controls that they gave you on that screen where it had like the Alt up arrow to move forward or the left right up arrow keys to look around or move, what you want to do is, maybe like me, you've already changed your key bindings to other things on the keyboard. So the easiest way to revert back to normal is to just change the keyboard from whatever profile it's on now. There's little arrows underneath the keyboard here. You'll see one on the right and left. If you move this to the left, it'll go back to default. And once you move it to default, you can click apply and save, and then head to the aircraft, and that'll allow you to now use those key bindings that they set. Now, for me, I'm going to go back to my original keyboard, and I'm going to show you guys what I did to mine to help me move around. So, what I did was, in the search name area here, if you type in translate, oops. Okay, so this first section here, cockpit camera, this is the most important part right here, and this is what I've bound the keys to. So the translate cockpit view right, I left it as D. Cockpit translate view left it as key A. View forward W, and view backwards S. Now, if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see that those keys have also been bound to the drone. So the same way that you move your drone around in the sim is going to be the same way that you're going to move around in the aircraft, which is, to me, I find it to be smoother and a little bit easier than the keys that they listed on that initial page. So again, if you want to bind these keys, it's very simple. I'll just use this right panel just to give you an example. So if I clicked on this one, right now it has the key bound, but I'm going to click on this one because it's empty. And then it says here, which key do you want to combine? So you're just going to click here where it says start scanning. And then you're going to type in the key that you want. So in this case here, I wanted the W. So type in W. In most cases, if the key is already bound to something else, you're going to get this warning that says this is already in use somewhere else. Do you want to bind it anyways? And you can just say validate, and it'll accept it. So you can have the same key, just like I have it for the drone and now for the movements or cockpit views, let's say. You can have the same key bound to multiple things. So after you've changed your keyboard back to default or bound the keys that you wanted for the movement, you'll head back over to the hangar and back to your MD-11 and back into the interior view. And again, my right button on my mouse allows me to look around and move the camera. And now if I use those keys, WASD, or in your case, the arrow keys or whichever were the default settings, you're able to actually move around. So let's take a look inside this aircraft now and see what it has to offer. So this main area that we're looking at now, this here is like a little training area, and a lot of people actually get trained in this aircraft for vision care. So this main monitor that you see here at the front, this will usually display what's going on in the operating rooms or any kind of presentations that they may be showing. And as we head back, you're going to notice that there's these little, they look like iPads or tablets on the walls in different areas. So they usually give you some information about where you are. So this again is a classroom, seats up to 46. There is microphone, real-time interaction with surgeons from the operating room, 3D camera, provide microscopic view of live surgeries. So here's another one, I believe. Yeah, this one is a duplicate. For some reason, there's two of them in this room. But yes, so this is the room. Looks pretty neat. And we're going to head down here. So as we move down the aircraft, you'll see here on the wall there's a big poster for Orbis. Lights up, it looks really nice. Again, there's some doors that we can't get into, but the rooms are labeled, as you can see. And as we head down, we're going to start to see actual rooms for the vision care. So this specific room right here, I think, is where they do all their measurements and testing for the vision. And you can see there's a lot of storage in here, a lot of machinery, and there's these little tablets. So let's see what they say here. So this one here is a care and laser room. Extensive laser treatment training is conducted here. Laser surgery does not require a sterile environment. Procedures can be broadcasted to the classroom. So I don't believe they do the laser in this room. I think this is just to take measurements and whatnot. Let me see what this says up here. Patient care and laser room, extensive laser treatment training is conducted. Surgery does not require. Okay, so this is the same one as that first one. And I did see another one up here. Extensive laser treatment. Okay, so it's the same. So Oh, here's a different one. So an extension to the patient care and laser room, visitors can see live operations taking place in the adjacent operating room. So from here, again, like I said, I think they do the measurements and testing for vision. And then this room adjacent to us here is the operating room. So there's the operating table, the machinery. So actually people can come in here and see it being performed live if they don't want to sit up in the classroom and watch from the screen. So this here, again, they call it the observation room. So as we move down, again, here's another window that we can look into the operating room if we wanted to. And then we're going to head further on down. Here's another tablet. Okay, so Center for All Hands-On, one-on-one training between Orbis volunteer faculty and local medical professionals, located directly over the MD-10 center wing box for optimal stability. So as far as I understood, this aircraft flies all over the world to help people with vision care. I mean, if they have any loss of vision or need surgery or whatever. And if I understood correctly, most of the work is done when it's grounded on the floor. I don't think it does anything while it's up in the air. Because I believe once this aircraft lands on the ground, they plug it into all the power and everything is done on site. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments. So as we look around here, we'll see, that's pretty cool. There's like a clock on the wall that looks like a hand watch. There's that adjacent room that we were just looking through. And we're in the operating room here. So you see all the extra equipments, machinery. Here's the bed. There's the machine, I guess, to do whatever surgeries are needed or laser correction. Okay, so let's leave this room and check out the last part of this aircraft. So we got a couple more tablets here. So this one just says nurses learn how to sterilize instruments in surgery, use tools, scrub correctly, and prevent infections. There is a designated room for clean and storeroom, and complies with international hygiene and airflow standards. And this section here at the back, so this is the post-operative care room, or the recovery room as they call it, where patients are prepared for surgery and recover after the procedure. Local nurses work with the Orbis nurses in this room to enhance their patient care skills. So I guess from what this is saying, the patient would normally come back here, and this is, I guess, where they would get prepped and ready for the surgeries. And then they would obviously go into that operating room, and once they were done their surgeries, they would come back out here and rest before they were released. And they would obviously make sure that everything was okay before they let them go. So again, this is the same, and there's nowhere else to go. So these doors are closed, and we have this screen here at the back with a nice little teddy bear on it. So that's pretty much it. We've gone all the way from the front of the aircraft to the back, and we've seen all the rooms that are available. Now, at this point, as far as I understood, Microsoft has stated that this is just like a tour of the aircraft. This is not a flying aircraft at the moment. I think in the future, you know, maybe things will change, but as of right now, this is just a walkthrough just to see what the aircraft is like. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and we'll see you guys on the next one.